The town where nobody looks twice. By the time I reached Black Hollow, my phone had lost signal, my gas tank was nearly empty, and I was seriously reconsidering every life decision that had brought me there. Rain hammered the windshield in uneven bursts, blurring the road ahead into streaks of silver and black. The forest pressed tightly against both sides of the highway like it was trying to swallow the pavement whole. I hadn't seen another car in almost 40 minutes. The GPS froze 3 towns back. I should have turned around then. But I didn't. The company had offered me a good salary to manage inventory at the lumber mill outside town. Cheap housing. Quiet environment. Perfect place to reset your life, the recruiter had called it. That should have sounded suspicious. Instead, it sounded comforting. I was 26, broke, exhausted, and trying to outrun a version of myself I hated. Black Hollow felt far enough away to start over. When I finally rolled into town, it was almost midnight. The place looked half asleep. Old storefronts lined the road beneath buzzing streetlights. Rainwater dripped from rusted signs. There weren't any people outside. No music. No traffic. Just the sound of my tires sliding over wet pavement. Then I saw her. An old woman stood beneath the awning of a diner that looked closed hours ago. She wore a yellow raincoat and held an umbrella that the wind kept trying to rip from her hands. She raised one arm as my headlights passed over her face. Not waving. Pointing. At me. I slowed instinctively. Big mistake. The woman stepped off the curb and approached my car faster than someone her age should have been able to move. She leaned down beside the passenger window before I could lock the doors. Her smile was polite. Too polite. "You're the new tenant," she said. Not a question. I cracked the window slightly. "Yeah. Apartment above Mercer's grocery." Her expression changed instantly. For the first time, she looked genuinely afraid. "Oh," she whispered. Rain tapped against the glass between us. Then she glanced over her shoulder toward the empty street behind her. "You shouldn't stay there tonight." Every horror movie instinct in my brain lit up at once. I almost laughed. "Why?" She ignored the question completely. "Listen carefully," she said. "If someone knocks on your door after 1 in the morning, don't answer immediately." Something about the way she said it made my stomach tighten. "Wait 30 seconds first." I frowned. "What?" 30 seconds, she repeated. "No matter who it sounds like." Lightning flashed somewhere deep in the forest. For a split second, the entire street turned white. And I swear there was someone standing directly behind her. Tall. Wrong. Gone the moment darkness returned. The old woman noticed my expression. Her face drained of color. Without another word, she backed away from the car and hurried into the rain. I watched until she disappeared between buildings, then I drove to the apartment. The building sat above a tiny grocery store near the edge of town. The owner had left a key under a flower pot exactly where he promised. Inside, the apartment smelled like dust and old wood. 1 bedroom. Tiny kitchen. Cracked wallpaper. A single window facing the woods behind town. Honestly, it wasn't terrible. I dropped my bags beside the couch and tried convincing myself the woman outside the diner was just another paranoid small-town eccentric. Every isolated town has stories. That's how places like this survive boredom. I unpacked enough to make coffee, took a shower, and checked the time afterward. 12:47 a.m. The rain had stopped. Silence filled the apartment so completely that I could hear the pipes groaning inside the walls. Then came the first knock. 3 soft taps. Not aggressive. Not loud. Just enough. I froze. Another knock followed. Then a man's voice. "Hey." I stared toward the front door. "I think you dropped your wallet outside." My chest tightened. I checked my pockets automatically. Empty. For half a second, panic replaced logic. Then I remembered the woman. "Wait 30 seconds. I don't know why I listened. Maybe because something deep inside me suddenly didn't want to open that door. The voice spoke again. "You there?" I looked through the peephole. A man stood in the hallway holding a brown wallet. He looked normal. Mid-30s. Wet jacket. Beard. But he wasn't facing the door. He stood sideways. Completely still. Like someone pretending to understand how people stand. I stepped back slowly. 20 seconds. The hallway outside remained silent. Then the man moved. Not naturally. His head turned first. Too far. Too smoothly. Until one eye stared directly into the peephole. My blood went cold. His smile widened slowly. "Oh," he said softly. "It knew I was there." The voice changed after that. Not drastically. Just slightly wrong. Like someone doing an impression of a human voice. "You should let me in." I couldn't breathe. The man outside lifted the wallet closer to the peephole. It wasn't mine. It looked like skin. 30 seconds passed. The thing outside the door stopped smiling. Its shoulders twitched sharply beneath the wet jacket. Then came a sound I still hear in nightmares. Bones cracking. One after another. Its body jerked violently as though something underneath the skin was rearranging itself. I stumbled backward. The thing spoke again. Now using my voice. "Open the door." Exactly my voice. Perfectly. I ran to the kitchen and grabbed the biggest knife I could find, even though every instinct told me it wouldn't matter. Outside, the thing laughed quietly. Then it began knocking again. Only this time, the rhythm matched my heartbeat. I don't know how long it stayed there. Minutes. Hours. At some point I realized dawn light was leaking through the curtains. The knocking stopped. Birds started chirping outside. Everything felt normal again. Too normal. I opened the door around 7 in the morning. The hallway was empty. Except for footprints. Bare human footprints. Wet. Leading up the wall. Not along it. Up it. Like something had crawled across the ceiling. I left town that same day. Didn't even unpack the rest of my bags. I drove for nearly 3 hours before stopping at a gas station outside the county line. That's where I finally checked my phone. I had one voicemail. No caller ID, timestamped 1:14 a.m. The exact time the thing was outside my apartment. I listened to it once. There was heavy breathing for about 10 seconds. Then my own voice whispered, "You forgot to wait 30 seconds." I deleted the message immediately. I never went back to Black Hollow. But sometimes, late at night, someone knocks on my apartment door exactly 3 times. Soft. Patient. Familiar. And every single time, I wait 30 seconds before looking through the peephole.